Tim Donaldson. I am a technical sales manager for VTScada based out of Boston, Massachusetts. And what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about the recipe management and batch reporting options that were added to VTScada with version 12.1. Really nice tools for food and beverage, pharmaceutical, even the water and wastewater if you needed to download and constantly change values in a PLC and so forth, a certain set of recipes and so forth. It's a really nice tool. So what I'm going to do is talk to you a little bit about what we've done with the product and then show you a little demo too as well. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that were added to it. We added some tags, obviously, and we added some widgets in order for you to build out your application. And we also added a batch report. The first tag was the recipe book tag. And this is think of it as a recipe book, where a recipe book holds all different recipes. In my demo, what I do is I have a recipe book called cookies, and then I start up different recipes, different types of cookies, peanut butter cookies, chocolate chip, ginger, and so forth. So that's what a recipe book tag will be able to do for you. Recipe ingredient tag, those would be the ingredients for each particular recipe that you have. Things such as when you're making cookies, flour, sugar, water, how much eggs, how much time, and so forth, and different steps and so forth that are involved with a recipe, obviously. Then the recipe trigger tag. This is where you can start up a certain recipe or a certain batch, run it based on a certain time of day, and then also you can trigger a secondary condition when the recipe completes as well from that recipe trigger tag. So it's a really, again, really cool feature. And then on the user interface, we added several different widgets in order to build out a production screen for doing your recipe, such as starting the recipe, the version of the recipe, what recipe's running, things like that. And you'll see that in a few minutes as well. And then on the batch reporting, we added to our standard reports, we added something called batch report, and that will give you a report of what that particular batch was, all the ingredients that went into it, the batch number, when it was run, etc. Very important for traceability. Okay, so here's my recipe management screen where I can select my different batches, or actually select my different recipes. From here, I could actually run them from here, but I always run them from my production screen, which is the next one over, and we'll see that in a second. But just to give you some ideas of what we can do here, we can export the recipe. You can also import recipes back in, but I could export this recipe out if I wanted to save that. But we have different recipes such as peanut butter, chocolate chip, shortbread cookies, those are good as well. Oatmeal cookies, another one of my favorites as well. But peanut butter are my favorites, so we're going to concentrate on those for today. If we notice a couple of different ingredients down here, specialty ingredients, we can go ahead and add some different specialty ingredients to our cookies to kind of change things kind of on the fly, maybe different type of batch we want to run, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that, but instead of changing them here, we'll change them on the production screen. So let's go over and take a look at that production screen real quick. And from here, my status of my different recipes are over here, or actually my status of what batches were run. My communications, obviously, just I know I'm connected up to my PLC. I'm using the Allen Bradley PLC for this with the VTScada Allen Bradley driver. I could go back over and change my recipe if I wanted to, and look at my recipes for the last hour. We'll do that after we've obviously run something. So we're going to go ahead and work with peanut butter cookies, but we're going to go ahead and add a couple of specialty ingredients. What goes good in peanut butter cookies? Well, I like chocolate chips in mine. So we're going to go ahead and add some chocolate chips, and we're going to make that 4 teaspoons. And we're also going to add some oats, kind of like chocolate chip, oatmeal, peanut butter cookie. So some quick oats, and we'll go ahead and add 2 TSPs of that. And now let's save this out. So we're going to save this as, we'll save it as peanut butter, obviously under recipe. But let's go ahead and make it today's date, which is 8/4, and we're going to save this as Tim's fave. Okay, and click OK, and we're going to go ahead and let that run. So I'll go ahead and start my batch. Start button, and we'll give it a batch number. Very important for batch reporting. So we're going to call this batch 102, and click OK. And it's writing the ingredients and cooking up my cookies for me, mixing everything together, and in a little bit we'll have some very delicious peanut butter cookies. So while that's running, let's go ahead and take a look at some things on the back side. I'm gonna go into my tag browser and just to look at some of those things that we've added, the tags. So I actually have cookies and cakes that I could bake. We're going to go look at cookies, that's what we're doing. So under there you have your batch complete, your batch number, batch report, the different ingredients that go into a particular cookie and so forth. So these are all the ingredients and then the different types of ingredients, what my batch number is, batch complete and so forth, just different trigger tags. Report trigger, and then of course I'll start my batch. Okay, so let's close that down, and let's come over and look at the batches run for the last hour. That should pull up Microsoft Excel, and it did. And there's my peanut butter cookies with everything that we needed, the chocolate chips that we added, and the quick oats. So actually there's two different batches in here. Batch number 101, which was a little test one we did before going online with you today. Nothing wrong with having two batches of cookies. And then batch 102, which we just ran just now, and that has the chocolate chips of 4 TSPs and the quick oats of 2. So I did that first batch, and you know, I wanted to go a little bit. I only had 3. I wanted to upgrade that chocolate chips and obviously my quick oats too. So I hope this was informative for you. Again, more information can be found online at VTScada.com. Of course, if you're ever working with VTScada, you're in one of those report tags, you don't know what to set up, always hit F1. F1 is your friend. Hit F1 on any dialog box inside VTScada, it pops our whole help menu system. Or feel free to reach out to one of your local salespeople, and they'll be more than happy to help you out with it as well. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. I'm gonna go get myself a nice peanut butter chocolate chip oatmeal cookie, and hopefully it won't spoil my dinner. I don't think it will. Have a great one. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.